Thursday, and thanks for being with us. I'm Elise Edie, walking you through the big news stories that we're following today. And want to begin with this one. This is happening at an apartment complex in Atlanta. Police are saying that a father ended up shooting his son to death in Buckhead. That father, 54-year-old Duranter Tolliver. So we have our Kevin Stewart on top of this top story for us this morning, filling in some of the details here. So Kevin, good morning. What happened?
Good morning, Elise. A lot of details to fill in. As you mentioned, this is a big tragedy here in Atlanta and Buckhead. It happened here at this apartment complex here, 55 Far. We understand that there was some type of a domestic argument between a man and a woman sometime after midnight here at this apartment complex. Police showed up, tried to talk to both of the parties involved. The male left the scene inside that apartment and went into the parking lot someplace back here. And at that point, another person shows up, a man, and we understand that is the father, and he shot his son in the parking lot. We understand that police did detain Mr. Tolliver there and have since charged him with murder and other charges. What the argument was all about, again, we're still trying to sort all of that out, but we want to let you listen to police here who can add a little bit more context. Take a listen.
Dispute originated inside the apartment, escalated out into the parking lot between known parties, and we have one male deceased. The father came over to try to de-escalate the situation. Then there appears to have been a dispute out in the parking between father and son, which escalated into some gunfire.
Yeah, hard to believe that this could happen when something was trying to be de-escalated, but obviously things do happen, and we're trying to figure out what exactly was going on with both arguments, the initial reason why police were called to the scene, and as the father and son were trying to de-escalate this whole situation. This is a story we're going to continue to work on throughout the day, but for now, that is the latest here in Atlanta, Buckhead, Northwest Atlanta. Kevin Stewart, Fox 5 News. Yeah,
Kevin, let me ask you this. You know, throughout the morning, we didn't have a name yet for the victim. We didn't have a name yet for the girlfriend. Is that still the case, or has Atlanta police released some names?
No, that's still what we need to know. We do have the name of the suspect, Mr. Tolliver, there. We've been trying to look up something about him. I found some stuff, but I want to try to confirm that. Sure. But right now, we still have a lot more work to dig down on this.
Okay, the story Kevin Stewart is on top of today. So, Kevin, thank you so much for that update. We certainly appreciate it. All right, I want to get you out to something that's happening right now in DeKalb County. Crews are working to repair a broken water main break, so drivers are being asked to avoid the area. There's no doubt there could end up being some traffic delays because of this. So we have our Billy Heath out there taking a look at us, letting us know where this is happening. And Billy, it looks like work is underway as we speak.
Yeah, good morning, Elise. As you can see behind me, crews are hard at work repairing that water main break. You know, DeKalb County let us know that this work was going to be taking place. They said about 300 customers, that's going to be businesses and residents, are going to be impacted while this work is underway. I shot some video with a Skyfox drone to kind of give you an overhead view of what this repair looks like. Do we have that video, Elise?
It's up now, Billy.
Wait, you see it?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Well, great. So that just gives our viewers a look kind of inside the area where they're working. You know, when I showed up, there wasn't even a hole there. You know, they were just sort of looking for where this might have happened. I watched them bring the excavator out, and they just started hammering away at that road. And as soon as they pulled the asphalt up, well, there was the water. So right now they're hard at work. I talked to one of the workers out here. They said this could probably take a couple of hours. What I can do, Elise, is I can step behind the camera and give you a look at what's happening out here live. So let me do that real quick as I walk behind the camera and zoom in for you so you can see these crews hard at work out here to get this water restored for these customers
Billy,
in DeKalb County.
Of course, I can't stress enough how much it helps, though, when you have that drone out to be able to see it from the top, because you realize just how extensive the work is that they're having to do.
Oh,
I mean, this is a big job. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I was going to say, it is really hard to kind of see from road level, but you're absolutely right. When you pop that drone up and you can get that top-down view of the hard work they're doing, it definitely gives you a new perspective. And I did want to mention, DeKalb County let us know that if you go to this Circle K right here at Covington Highway and Redan Road, they do have a bunch of bottles of water that they can give you if you're in need of water today because of this outage.
Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned that. That's going going to be an important part of this. I want to say this too, Billy. They're saying if you're experiencing water service issues or anything like that, you can email them at DeKalb waterops at DeKalbCountyGA.gov. And Billy, you know, we're able to see you're zooming in right now on the work they're doing. They're hard at work. Got a bunch of folks out there trying to get this cleared up. You mentioned Circle K. The address out there, 3858 Covington Highway, is where this is all taking place. So, Billy, it looks like a big job ahead of them to try to knock this out and hopefully get things reopened and traffic moving there again. So, Billy Heath on top of this water main break for us in DeKalb County. Billy, thanks so much. We appreciate it. All right, I want to talk Hurricane Melissa now. If you've been following this, you know just how big of a storm that this was. I mean, we're talking the strongest storm on the planet so far this year. The effects of Melissa just absolutely devastating for so many there in Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba. At least 30 people are dead in the aftermath of all of this. So currently moving away from the Bahamas, had a turn toward Bermuda, which is expected to pass a little bit later in the day. That's according to the National Hurricane Center. So that's really the thing here, is that things aren't finished just yet. We can expect Hurricane Melissa to continue to wreak some havoc. So our meteorologist Jonathan Stacey is making his way up here, but as he does, just want to talk a little bit more about the track that we're seeing right here. They're saying that early today headed to the Bahamas, begin heading there, according to the U.S. National Hurricane Center in Miami. Talking heavy rain, gusty winds hitting the central and southeastern Bahamas early this morning. And like we mentioned at the top, I mean, this is the strongest storm on the planet so far. The damage has been absolutely catastrophic. So many people without power. We've checked in with a bunch of folks here in Atlanta who are trying to get in contact with family members, friends, and they can't because their family members on the islands don't have power to charge their phones. The infrastructure there is pretty decimated after seeing what this Category 5 storm did. So let's check in now with meteorologist Jonathan Stacey joining us to kind of recap what's going on. And like we mentioned, Melissa hasn't fizzled out just yet, Jonathan.
It hasn't. Still got to it this hour as it blazes right past the island of Bermuda over the next 24-hour period. Already getting some rain there. But this has been a storm of prolific proportions, and it will be definitely one that will be studied, because you remember at the very beginning of the storm's birth, if you will, we just didn't know what it was going to do, how strong it would be, and certainly we didn't know where it would end up going. Right. And then when you look at the end of the week, it made 2 landfalls and then a very close pass to the island of Bermuda. This is one storm that's definitely worth paying attention to, and it's also an indication to those of us who were not directly impacted that hurricane season, it can go later than we typically expect. We typically expect this type of activity around the month of September. Here we are at the end of October, and you can see that the season and the seas are still alive and well.
Very much so. Yeah.
Meanwhile, here at home, things are rather calm to start the day. It's been a fairly nice winter-like start to the day. Temperature starting out in the 40s. We've made it to 52 degrees here in Atlanta. So the mercury is not going to move much once again today. We have a small dose of sunshine trying to peek through the clouds, but by and large, it's another day in which temperatures will be stunted by winds aggressively moving in out of the north and the west. Sometimes we could get gusts as high as 20-25 miles an hour. Just to kind of give us some context as we look at our overnight low temperatures here for tonight, because I think this is going to be the real stunner. We'll drop down to 42 degrees here in the city. Outside of town, you're easily going into the upper 30s. So where does that put us in terms of where we should be climatologically? Well, 42 degrees is my low temperature for tonight. So the first day of November coming up Saturday, the first day of December, well, that's a month and a couple days away. The average temperature will be 41 degrees. That's December 1st. Well, what is our temperature tonight? 42 degrees. So it feels much like the end of November or the beginning of December than it does the end of October and the beginning of November. So it will be quite chilly tonight, and as the winds begin to relax, there will be the question of the potential of frost development, especially in to the foothills in the mountains.
You know what's wild? I feel like just a few weeks ago, like maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, temperatures were, hitting almost 80? And then here we find ourselves
2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago.
Yeah. It's changed a lot.
I'm talking about, it was a finger snap.
Yeah, it
like
really
it was one way one day, and really it was Saturday into Sunday. Things were very nice for Saturday, plenty of sunshine, the clouds moved in, and it's like we had three fronts, like they joined forces and they lined up right behind each other. Now, what is important to say here, I'm not saying that hurricane season is over, but what happens is the jet stream dips further to the south the deeper we get into the year. So we're now into the mid-fall, going into late fall. And so the jet stream is taking dips and dives down south. And it's bringing us some cooler air, and that typically comes with the exchange of air masses that creates cold fronts, and those cold fronts have some showers and storms associated with them. So what these things are doing is they are moving off coast into the Atlantic. You follow me here?
Yes.
And they are keeping Atlantic activity from coming our way. It's like our defense mechanism. Okay, yeah, we have some dreary days here, some cloudy days, some storms here and there. It's kind of this kind of up and down weather, but without us having this steady state or one air mass over us, that means that we're clearing the system and we're sending out defenses in the way of areas of low pressure to kind of buffer anything from advancing our way. And that works pretty well during this time of the year.
Yeah.
That's why you don't see as many landfalling tropical systems as you get into the latter part of the season. Now, the window of opportunity is still there because the waters are still warm, and sometimes those areas of low pressure, especially as they come up from the Caribbean and from the Gulf, they can manage to find their way in between a couple systems and run up and cause us some late season problems. But I don't see any problems for Halloween. I think there will be plenty of sunshine. The computer models are trying to throw in a solid dose of cloud cover, but I think we'll have more sunshine than not tomorrow. Nonetheless, the focus will be on the temperatures because there will be a pretty steady fall. Yeah, so for trick-or-treat timing, just think 55 to 60 degrees. If you're further to the north or farther to the north, you'll find that temperatures may drop down into the lower 50s by the time trick-or-treating comes to an end, but it won't be frigid. It will just be chilly.
Which I feel like kind
difference.
of makes Halloween night better. You know what I mean? Like you're not sweating running around in your costumes, but you're not freezing to where you have to have a heavy coat on. It's kind of that perfect.
It's in the middle. If we were to be in the 60s, it would be like, what kind of 60s are these? You know, is it going to be like, you know, a little too warm 60s? Or if it was in the 40s, it would be kind of almost raw.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is no problem.
Makes a lot of sense.
And the winds will have calmed down in contrast to today. So overall, the pattern is settling down a bit in contrast to how active things were, not only abroad, but even here at home. Rain chances reemerging in the forecast as we get into early next week.
Okay, so speaking of next week, before we get to that point, something big is happening. It happens twice a year. What's going down, Jonathan?
Yeah, so what we have here is the ending of daylight saving time.
Yeah.
And we're going back to standard time. So we'll fall back and we will essentially gain 1 hour of sleep going into Sunday morning. That said, I think over the years, we've had a lot of conversations.
Oh my gosh, so much.
I'm talking about as a nation, as a Facebook feed.
Nothing gets people fired up like this.
And you know, if I can kind of go back here and try to do some history, if you remember, it was about 10 years ago, maybe a little less than that, they moved the date, and I know they specifically moved the date of the fall back. So we used to fall back in October. You don't remember that?
I mean, it's all fuzzy now.
So we used to fall back in October, and they moved the date by some 2 to 3 weeks, and now we fall back during what essentially it's the first weekend of November. And the first weekend of November comes in pretty early this year because Saturday is November 1st. So we're actually falling back a little bit earlier than we could. You know, this will be the earliest fall back that we could actually have on the calendar. But we generally used to fall back in October. So I think there's some anxiety because October, the end of October just seems really weird, especially when you wake up and you don't have sunshine, and then you're losing so much sunshine during the back part of the day. And I think it's the opposite of that when you get into April. Is that when we know?
Yes, I think it's May, April,
March. But I think this one really does a doozy on folks. And I think, because it's been around at this point, the changing of the times, we have never lived in our lifetime when the time has not changed. So we can't act like it's brand new. But I think that little change a few years back definitely is a shock to the system, and it makes the time changing more apparent and to some a bit more frustrating.
So which one would you rather do, spring forward or fall back?
I will always rather fall back.
I knew you were gonna
because
say
I
that.
need sunshine in the morning, because I need every ray of sun to help me get up out the bed. I need the sun peeking through saying, wake up, it's time to go. I'm so deceived because I'm thinking I have more time to sleep in the morning, and it's like, no, the sun has not come up, but the clock is still ticking. Get up.
That's very true. Okay.
Which, it doesn't help you at all.
Maybe it honestly doesn't.
It helps you on the back end to maybe go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because when I worked early mornings, it was like,
Yeah.
Sun setting around 4 o'clock. Okay, got it. Let's go to bed. Kids
Ready
go
or
to bed.
not, though, it's happening this weekend.
Yes.
So remember that Saturday on into Sunday. Meteorologist Jonathan Stacy, as always, we appreciate you.
Indeed.
Thank you so much. All right, our time is 11:16, and we'll be right back. So welcome back, everyone. Thanks for being with us here on this Thursday. So many Americans are facing financial uncertainty right now, especially in light of the government shutdown that's now stretching into its 30th day. And USAA is encouraging its members to focus on the essentials and to make smart financial decisions. So that's what we're talking about today. We're joined by JJ Montanaro, USAA's military advocacy team, just to share some practical tips for us. So JJ, it's so good to have you on with us. Good morning.
Great to be with you, and happy to share some practical tips and really for USA members some good news in terms of USA being right by their side during this difficult time.
Yeah, it's not something we want to have to talk about, but it's important that we do because so many folks are impacted by this, JJ. So let's start with this. You guys have a message of financial resiliency. So let's talk about that and why it's especially important right now.
Yeah, when you look at it from just a very practical standpoint, and this isn't rocket science, but for most working Americans, the engine that keeps their finances going is that paycheck, whether it comes monthly or twice a month. And so when that is in jeopardy, like we're seeing here with the government shutdown, it's important to take a really go back to basics approach, I'd call it. So calculate what the impact is going to be and what the resources you have. Obviously, be cautious when it comes to new purchases or any type of financial commitments, and then make those connections with organizations that can help you through this and communicate. A lot of times, especially with the military community, it's hard for them because to reach out and say, hey, I need some help. But during times like this, if a service provider doesn't know you need help or need some sort of payment arrangement, they're not going to be there for you.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that. Reach out to those who can help and let them know that you are in need of help. So we're hearing from so many, JJ, about how, their check may have stopped, but that life hasn't stopped, right? The rent is still due. They still have to pay for daycare. They still need groceries. They still need gas. So what are some tips, some ways that all of us, and specifically, maybe your members, can try to prioritize those essentials right now?
Well, we just said it, reach out. And one of the things that we've done in the roughly 3 weeks since we launched our government shutdown program is issued over 100,000 loans for $360 million to eligible members to help them meet those essential costs that you're talking about. And we're talking about a zero interest, no fee loan. So very reasonable and a great approach for USA members to meet the challenge.
Yeah, of course, can make a really big difference right now. So do you have some advice or just some resources, things that members can do if they're needing to reach out because they're struggling to make payments at this time?
Yeah, so in terms of USA members, they should check us out at usaa.com/relief. For military service members, the aid societies out there, Army Emergency Relief, Navy, Marine Corps Relief Society, they're out there and they're equipped to help service members through this difficult time. So don't, again, fail to raise your hand and say, hey, here's where I'm at. I need some help. And I think for this particular community, especially the military community, there's a lot of organizations out there standing by, ready to help.
So why does USAA suggest using certain financial accounts in a specific order, JJ?
So when you look at what you have there, the easiest answer from a financial planning perspective, unfortunately, it's one that a lot of people don't have in place, is to go to an emergency fund. Because if I tap my emergency fund, it's typically sitting in a savings or money market account, and the financial implications in terms of the impacting my retirement, for example, or having to take the money out when it's down, if the markets are down, is just not there because it's in a safe, stable place. So something like an emergency fund would be at the top of the list in terms of things to tap. But then you have to look further down into other things like investments, retirement type accounts, and see what type of options are out there. Maybe it's something like a 401k or TSP loan, or maybe it's a temporary withdrawal from an IRA. So there are a lot of different options, and really based on circumstances, you're going to choose the one that's right for you. And I think doing that in consultation with a trusted advisor is the way that makes the most sense.
JJ, what's your advice that you hope folks at home take away from what they're hearing right now, specifically those who find themselves, really, really impacted by what's happening with the government shutdown? What's a final piece of advice that you can share?
Do an assessment, see where you're at, what you need, and then again, ask for help.
All right, JJ Montanaro with USAA with some really important financial guidance for us on day 30 of the government shutdown. So, JJ, thanks for checking in with us today. We appreciate it.
Take care.
Of course. Well, there's something really exciting that's happening for some students who may be into the culinary scene, the tourism scene, and it's the Chef Youth Conference. It's Cooking Up Careers. So we have our Chris Rosenthal, who is joining us out live there this morning with more on what these students are getting into. Hey, Chris, good morning.
Yeah, hey, good morning. Yeah, nothing like being at a food chef conference in the morning. So this is a conference, about 160 high school students from Gwinnett, Fulton, DeKalb counties. These are culinary high school students that are here getting to learn about the culinary industry, getting to learn about some of the different options that they have for them, not just working in restaurants, but other industries as well, and catering and just various different aspects of this field. This is kind of one of the cooler rooms. I'm going to head in here now. This is this is a room where students are getting to experience and sample different sort of underused ingredients like Swiss chard, and I tried this a little bit earlier. It's a sweet potato soup, and then over here, parsnips. I don't know if you cook with a lot of parsnips, but we have a Chef Robert Butts over here. Tell me about this with parsnips. This is kind of an unusual ingredient. What do you have here?
So today we're doing different things with parsnips. So we did parsnips many ways. We took the parsnip, we smoked it to puree it a little bit. We took the parsnip skins to make parsnip chips. We took the parsnips dehydrated, mixed it with pecans to make a crumble for some sweetness. And then we have a collard green chimichurri that's going with a little bit of grilled chicken. And to bring it all together, showcasing the best of what we got.
And I tell you, I tried this earlier. It was really, really good, and it was, and it's something that one of the many things that students are getting to sample here. But I'm here with Simone Byron. She's founder of this event here. Tell me a little bit about this. Tell me about what these students are here learning about the culinary industry.
Absolutely, we are here sharing the industry, making sure that students understand all the opportunities that they have within culinary arts and hospitality, from restaurants to catering to operations, banquets, restaurants, entrepreneurship, getting them exposed to all the wonderful things that they can go into post-graduation from their culinary and hospitality programs.
And it isn't just being a line cook at a restaurant. There are lots of other options here, huh?
Absolutely. Line cooks are great positions. Executive chefs are great positions. But what about hotels? When we're talking about all these large banquets, there's banquet planning. We're talking to CPAs. There's a lot of accounting, of course, in hospitality. Talking about full-service catering, we have Bold Catering here today, Marlowe's Tavern. The ACF has brought some of their chefs from the country clubs. I mean, we've got all aspects, just getting the students ready and excited about being a part of the industry.
What do you think they take away when you see them here?
They take away knowledge they didn't have before. I was a culinary educator in Gwinnett for 10 years, and I understand how it feels to be in the classroom with the students, but to actually bring them to a space where they can get in touch with the industry and network and learn about all these different facets that they can take advantage of post-graduation is beautiful. So they're leaving inspired, motivated, and ready for the industry.
Will they walk out of here with internships, maybe?
They'll walk out of here with jobs, internships. GSU is here. Navigate Foundation is here about the apprenticeship program. They're walking out inspired, walking around really knowing what their opportunities are. So internships, jobs, apprenticeships, all of that. Absolutely.
Thank you, Simone Byron with Navigate Foundation. This is a pretty cool event, and they'll be out here for a few hours more. These students, they also get to join some sessions, get to talk with some other chefs, other students who have been successful as well. And and I think I might taste a few more samples while I'm here.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to leave there hungry, Chris, for sure. Let me ask you if you can still catch Simone before she leaves. Is there a website we can go? Because I'm sure this is something that happens every year, and parents and students, it might be something that they're interested in learning a little bit more about. So where can we go for that info if you can catch her, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. Simone, let me ask you real quick. If parents and students are watching this and they want to learn more, maybe get involved with this, what can they do?
They can visit navigatefoundation.org. We're also here with Discover DeKalb that talks about all the things they can get involved with. Navigatefoundation.org will tell you more about the apprenticeship programs. Also, ACF Atlanta. Social media is Chef Simone Byron on Instagram. Also, Navigate Foundation on Instagram. We're always posting things about ways that students can get involved. We have summer camps that are coming up, very skill-forward summer camps that these chefs are coming in and actually get to cook with young people. We love that. So just follow along, follow the Instagram handles. We're always putting up activities for all of our young people to get involved with.
And of course, there's a lot of high school programs they can get involved with as well.
Absolutely. If there is a high school culinary program here, they know me. They know Chef Simone. They know Byron Hospitality. They know Navigate. But all of our high school culinary arts and hospitality schools, we're going to be having larger events. So this is our first one. The next one will be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids. So we're looking forward to it.
Hey, this is
Wonderful.
impressive.
So lots of ways for them to get involved.
It is, Chris. What an opportunity for them. Looks like they're getting to try all kinds of things and, potentially prepare for a career in the industry as well. So Chris Rosenthal hanging with us this morning, giving us a look. And again, that website, navigatefoundation.org, if you are interested. Chris, thank you. Our time is now 11:29, and we're back with more right after this. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, in case you've missed the big news, Halloween is, of course, tomorrow. It's a lot of fun for kids, but for maybe a child who's on the autism spectrum, the sights, the sounds, the social bustle of all of that, the trick-or-treating, it can be a bit overwhelming. So joining us this morning with some tips, we have Dr. Bianca Brooks with Marcus Autism Center, just to share some helpful ways to make Halloween fun for all kids and inclusive as well. So it's so good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Of course, so my big takeaway from this, when I'm thinking about what we can all do, it's about offering inclusive spaces that are autism friendly, right? Yeah. We can all be a part of this.
Yes, yes. It's so important now more than ever to be inclusive and affirming as possible. Some of the things that you can kind of do to help make it so that your house can be more inviting are allowing kids to do a practice run for trick-or-treating, so they can come by, do a practice saying trick-or-treat and then going to the next house. Asking your neighbors what are good treats. Treats don't always have to be the traditional candies. They can be glow sticks, they can be stickers, and also being very flexible that not every kid's going to be able to say trick or treat. They might say in a different way, and also being very responsive to their own unique needs. So if they're giving you emotions that things are loud, maybe trying to use your gestures to just offer them a kind treat to allow them to pick whatever choice is the most meaningful for them.
To be in tune with that.
Yeah.
So I'm gathering that preparing a child ahead of time can make a huge difference. You know, you mentioned maybe having a run through of what a child can expect, because that's something you don't think about. We know of trick-or-treating, but
totally,
if that's a first experience or if there are some other challenges, like that can be pretty overwhelming.
You are spot on. I think it's so helpful to go ahead and try to do some like practice runs in regards to reading books about Halloween, talking about things to expect for Halloween, like different sights, smells, sounds, sounds. Certain bright lights might be triggering.
Right now.
You know,
Looks like I'm on.
Different decorations might be surprising. So reading a good book or watching even YouTube videos to prep your kids can be super helpful. And I encourage parents to know their child. So to bring that kind of mom or dad go bag, like have the noise canceling headphones, knowing when it might be just time to go home and have trick-or-treating at home and being flexible with our plans. The goal of this whole holiday is to have fun and to embrace your interest, and that we don't want it to feel as though your kid has to be one way to enjoy Halloween.
Let's talk visual aids, whether it's pictures, maybe a map of what kids can expect that night. How can that be a tool in this?
Those are my favorites. I think what you can even have fun and include your kid with the visual schedule. We can kind of like put different houses in your neighborhood and say, which one do I want to go to first? You can even make it fun and have stickers and say, first we're going to stop at, you know, Mr. Tommy's house, then we're going to go to Diane's house. Other things to think about would be with kind of story time. You can even do more of like a in vivo rehearsal. So instead of, even if you don't want to go to your neighbor's house, doing like, okay, what do we do when we open the door? What are some things that you can say? What do we do when we grab a treat? We say thank you, to kind of practice to give the kid an idea of like what to do next and things like that.
So speaking of treats, there's going to be a lot of candy because it is Halloween, of course. So anything that parents can do to try to lessen maybe the overstimulation that can come from the that's a lot.
Oh, of course. Minimize the choices. I think one or two is totally fine, and also just being creative. Like maybe it's a toy car, maybe it's a glow stick, whatever feels like that'll be a great fit for your kid. Again, you know your kid, and try to make sure that this is a time for fun, and also with a little bit of prep, I think this can be just a wonderful time for everyone.
Yeah. Any at-home activities that we may want to give a try for Halloween?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of like Halloween doesn't have to be one way. You can have trick-or-treating at home. You can make little centers and make it so that you go from the kitchen to upstairs, and each place is a new trick-or-treat that you get to pick. You can decorate pumpkins. Also, a lot of times kids with autism have really cool interests and really cool sensory interests that warrant further exploration. So I highly recommend like figuring out what your kid is into and having that to be part of this Halloween kind of sensory experience.
That's a great idea. So, you know, sometimes as much as we plan, and I feel like you learn this as an adult, especially as a parent, things don't always go as planned. Is one thing you can count on, right? So what can we do to maybe get ahead of that and to just be prepared for when that happens?
Yeah. Again, I love a good go bag with kind of things to help distract or redirect your kid. So when you know things that might be hard, or we know we need to kind of get out of there soon, being like, okay, well, it's time for us to go home. We have our toy car that we've been waiting for, or different stickers can be really, really helpful and empowering as well. Another thing I think is just giving yourself grace and also your kid grace. Like it's not always going to be perfect 100% of the time, and that's okay. That's kind of, we're all learning about ourselves and each other, every experience like this. So I encourage them to say, okay, if that didn't work out, the backup plan, which is not an awful plan, a great plan, let's watch a movie together.
That's a great idea.
Yes, like let's do something, let's do a craft. Let's go, we can make our costume for next year, or whatever. We can play dress up at home, right? Like there's lots of fun ways to still make it so the night can still be fun and exciting, even if worst case scenario, there's some tears along the way.
You just pivot.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You just pivot, and it's still great options if you end up doing those things. So really quickly, tell us what neighbors, community members can do just to make their home a welcoming place and inclusive for kids to come to trick or treat.
I would definitely, as much as possible, add visuals. And I know that can kind of be a little bit hard, but just simple ways of kind of showing them, like, which way to your driveway, or using pictures to also kind of like talk. We have this, we have a candy and we have a toy, or using the object also. So sometimes like words can be hard for some children on the spectrum, but they might be able to make a choice, or relying on the parents' expertise in that moment. Be like, they love cars, pick that. So giving 2 choices and holding them up can be really helpful. Otherwise, I think the biggest thing are like also lean in to certain things. So if a kid is really excited about telling you about like dinosaur facts or things like that, trying your hardest to make sure that you like pay attention and listen to those exciting things they're excited to share with you.
I love how you mentioned earlier too that you don't have to expect every child to say trick or treat.
Exactly.
Right? Like lower your expectations, change your expectations.
Yeah.
Like that could be, you know, for a reason. And so that's not something, because you show up at people's houses and that's, you know, they're waiting on you to say that. Every child doesn't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's lots of ways that kids are showing their excitement and leaning in with that as much as possible as well.
Okay. All right. So where can we go if we need maybe some more resources on things to keep in mind this Halloween, or maybe local events or that kind of thing? Where can we go for info?
Yeah, I love Autism Speaks. They have a lot of great resources on there about different tips. For local groups that are more in the Georgia area, Parent to Parent offers really great resources. Also Telic Empowerment as well. There's lots of cool trunk or treats or just different ways of just having fun and being festive during this time of year.
I can imagine that you have a very rewarding job.
Oh, I love my job.
And a rewarding workplace, the Marcus Autism Center.
Yes. It's a fantastic place to work at. I've been beyond thrilled in my years at Children's.
Yeah. How long have you been there?
I've been there since 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Quite some time.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for stopping in today and offering these really important tips. I think this can help a lot of folks. So we appreciate it, Bianca.
Appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much. So I will let you step out and get that off. I know you've got to get back to work.
Awesome.
And we want to get you back out to a water main break that we have been on top of today. Our Billy Heath is joining us live. This is on, actually, he's just going to show us this. This is Billy behind the camera giving us a look at some of the work that they are doing right now. Let me scroll back up so that I can try to find exactly where this is happening. Here we go. It's 3858 Covington Highway, and DeKalb County Watershed Management is out there. It was a 6-inch broken water main, and you see that Circle K that's right there behind it there. Pretty busy intersection. So they're asking you that if that's the route you typically travel, be prepared for some delays. They could take them a bit to get this all fixed up. So again, this is 3858 Covington Highway there, a water main break repair that is currently underway. So we're going to keep up the Halloween fun this morning and talk about some searches, Halloween Google searches. If you've been looking for a costume or maybe some candy or anything like that, well, that information has all been compiled, so we now know the most popular choices that people are looking for. So joining us now, we have Luma Hamed. She's joining us with what folks are searching for this spooky season. So Luma, thank you so much for being with us. Happy Halloween Eve.
Happy Halloween Eve. It's spooky season. I'm so excited to chat through some trends today.
Of course. Okay, I want to make sure I get your last name right. I couldn't talk to you during the break. You popped up. So tell me if I said that right or correct me.
Oh, no worries. It's Luma Hamade, but you can call me
Hamade. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's start big here. I mean, what are the big trends? Give us a quick overview of what you're seeing.
Yeah, so I've been pulling these trends for a few years now, and my favorite thing is when a state or a DMA has a different search interest than what's happening nationally. So nationally, the top 5 Halloween costumes are all K-pop Demon Hunter related, but in Atlanta specifically, the number 2 is actually Labubu's. So not sure if you've heard of this cute little plush toy, but y'all are a little bit of an outlier in this case.
How interesting. Okay, so I'm guessing you were about as not shocked as everyone else to see K-pop Demon Hunters killing it. I've got a little roomie at home. That's who she's going to be for Halloween. But oh my gosh, like that's literally what every kid, it seems, wants to be for Halloween, a character from that show. Did you see that coming?
Yes, I did see it coming. I think I was very curious to see what the new Taylor Swift album would do to search interest, and I thought it was quite interesting. There's so much search interest about the album, of course, but K-pop Demon Hunters are still the costume of the year.
Just killing it, killing it. So something else that's big every Halloween and just super, super cute, it's the pet costumes. And so you guys have a list of some of those, and I think we can put up our list if we can, of some of the popular ones. So what are we seeing from that? I'm going to guess that a Labubu is on the list somewhere. Am I right?
It's number one on the list.
Okay.
So you guessed exactly correct. I cannot wait to see little dogs and cats in Labubu costumes. One other one that I thought was kind of interesting, though, was the number 3 searched pet costume was chicken. So we can hypothesize that that might have to do with Minecraft and chicken jockey, which is kind of something within there. But they weren't looking for chicken jockey. They were looking for chicken. So I guess we're going to have to see which end of the spectrum they end up dressing up as.
Chickens. I didn't expect that to land on there, but I guess in the big picture, it makes sense mentioning those two things that you just did. So let's talk candy. It's always a big conversation for Halloween. We have our favorites. We have the ones that we can do without. What are folks searching for?
Yes, so I'm a huge candy lover myself, I have to say. This whole year has been a great year for candy because this whole idea of Swedish candy, which is actually imported from overseas, usually with companies like Bubs or other companies, has taken over and has become the #1 candy searches. And what you can see here actually is Swedish candy is a category of candy, whereas number 2 through 5 is a type of candy like a Kit Kat. So I think that's super interesting to see.
Very nice. I got to say, when I first saw that, I was thinking Swedish fish, but it makes a lot more sense when you're saying just Swedish candy as a whole. Pretty cool. Okay, so you've got your ears going, and that's, you're a cat. What about these DIY costumes? Are people searching for ideas in that category?
Yes, so DIY is always trending throughout Halloween. What I think is quite interesting is obviously there aren't as many DIY costume searches because people are obsessed with K-pop demon hunters, and that is actually skewed towards decor. So there's tons of people going to YouTube and YouTube Shorts to look at how to make a decor like a floating candle with just the things that they have inside the house without needing to buy anything new.
Interesting. Okay, so you can't have Halloween without a scary movie, right? At least one, or one that's slightly scary. So what are the top searches for those, Luna?
Yes. So the top 2 are one movie called The Last Walk, which I in fact have not seen, and it sounds like I need to see it because that was number 1. And then number 2 is The Conjuring, of course. I think some folks were surprised to not see Weapons on there, which is a new horror movie that landed. I think that's just mostly because this encapsulates more so family searches as well. So we want to make sure that those movies are movies that kids can see. But I know Weapons was a big one this year, so some people were wondering why that's not on the list.
Interesting. So I don't know if it's just this year, but it seems like in my neighborhood, people have really stepped up their Halloween decorations. There's like more and more inflatables. There's more of the gigantic skeletons. So is there something to that? And what are people searching for when it comes to these decor trends for Halloween, Luma?
100%. I would say the new searches in terms of decor kind of skew, interestingly enough, to cooking as well. So we have the classic decor DIYs, the floating candles I mentioned, scarecrows, potions, etc. But what you're also seeing is new foods emerging that are also being used aesthetically. So one example is a dirt cupcake. So this is a cupcake that you roll around in Oreo crumbs and you put worms on it so that folks can grab them, but it looks like a Halloween decoration, which I think is quite cute.
Yeah, that is super cute. I love that. Okay, so you're the pro here. So looking at everything as a whole, is there anything that surprised you? Is there something you just totally saw coming? Or is there something that might shock our viewers at home? Give us some of your big takeaways from the data this year.
I think something that you're going to find absolutely hilarious is I pulled these a few days ago, right? Just so that we're 100% prepared for our conversation. And then 2 days ago, I got an alert on our dashboard that there's a new emerging costume, and it is the Louvre heist costume. After what's happened throughout the heist. So I thought that was hilarious. We only have a few days of data on that, which is why it didn't make it into our overall lists, but I have to give it an honorable mention.
No, it absolutely, it deserves that. But that's kind of one thing that's so fun that seems to come out of every Halloween. It's like if you're in tune to pop culture or just the big news events, then you really can see so many people using those for costumes. So that makes so much sense.
Yeah, 100%. I saw a few girls dressed as Boba Tea in the office yesterday, which was amazing.
Oh, I bet that was cute.
So I love having fun with it like that.
That's a great costume. Okay, so maybe if folks want to take a look at more of what's trending, look at what's trending specifically in their neighborhood, where can we go, Luma?
Yep, so we just launched an amazing Halloween page called frightgeist.google.com. I would definitely check it out. It's themed. We have some fun visuals on there. Take a look, see what you find.
All right, Luma Hamade, Google Trend expert. This was a lot of fun, and I feel like we've got some ideas of what we will see at our door trick-or-treating on Halloween. So, Luma, thank you so much, and happy Halloween to you.
Bye.
We appreciate it. All right, our time is 11:48, and we're back right after this. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, Snellville is home to something really cool, Nick's Nightmare. It's a Halloween-themed haunted house and carnival. It's going on for 10 years now, the 10-year anniversary, which is pretty amazing. So joining us out there, I feel like at this point, you're kind of like the Halloween ambassador after we visited with you so much in Little 5 Points. But now you're on top of this. You got to look at some of the spooky fun. Hey, Eli.
Hey, Elise, good morning. Yes, I'm in Snellville. And, you know, we got lots of these commercialized haunted houses you might hear on the radio being promoted, and you spend $30 to go to it. But what's really cool are the homemade, homegrown, wholesome, cool, spooky scenes and homes and that are in neighborhoods all around. And Nick's Nightmare is one of them here in Snellville. And I am with Nick Ciccarello. Nick, this is your nightmare? Well, right now it's your daydream, right?
Yes, yes.
But tomorrow it'll be your nightmare, correct?
Yes, tomorrow.
So you've been doing this for 10 years, right?
Yes, this is our 10th year doing the big Halloween event.
And so tell me, why do you guys do this? I mean, you got all of your backyard here set up for Halloween. Why do you guys go to so much trouble? 10 years of doing this.
It's, you know, we get it's just a lot of fun. You know, not many people do this anymore, and I like to build stuff, and we love Halloween, so we figured we'd put it all together and just enjoy it with the neighborhood.
And 10 years of doing this, how many kids do you have show up for this? It seems like a popular item for the holiday.
Yes, the first year we had about 30 to 50 people. It was a lot. We thought that was a lot. Last year we had over 200 people show up, and it was a really, really fun event.
And so this is going on. You guys have not been doing this all week. This is an exclusive to Halloween and the day after Halloween, correct?
Yes, yes. Halloween comes on a Friday this year, so we're going to take full advantage of it and do a big event for both Friday and Saturday.
All right, so now we're going through the spider web here.
The spider web, yeah.
So kids can come here, or even adults can come here and walk through the haunted maze, I guess, correct?
That's right.
And this is free.
This is free, absolutely free.
And we're in Snellville, and this is free. This is in a neighborhood that has a lot of kids, and they're going to love this. And we got the big spiders here, and we got the webs going on. Now you guys had some rain earlier that kind of weighed some things down.
Yeah, weighed some things down, kind of set us back a little bit, but we're going to go all day today and night, and we'll be ready to go first thing for 5 o'clock on Friday, which is tomorrow.
And then you got we got the carnival scene going on.
And we have the carnival, so we have about 10 different carnival games that the kids can come and play, win prizes, and just have a fun time with their family.
I tell you what, when I was younger, you guys have chicken, and when I was younger, I had a chicken chase me. And that scared me. I was a lot younger though, and so it's like last year, chicken chased me. But anyways, but you have like a carny type games here, don't you?
Yeah, a bunch of little random carnival games that are fun and easy to play, and the kids can have a good time with it. We build most of the games ourselves, actually all the games ourselves, and we have our concession stand over there as well. We'll have popcorn, cotton candy, and all types of fun treats.
So tomorrow, you guys are running 5 to 10 o'clock.
5 to 10 o'clock tomorrow and on Saturday.
And tomorrow you also have the costume contest tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's costume contest will be at 6:30, and then we have our Jell-O brain eating contest on Saturday at 7 o'clock.
Jell-O brain eating contest, not a Jell-O shot eating contest.
No. Jell-O brain eating
This is a family
contest.
event.
Yes.
And then also too, you're going to be showing a movie, correct?
Yep, we have a big inflatable screen, so we'll be showing Hocus Pocus at 8 o'clock for the neighborhood, and we have the fire going in the back, and we can kind of just hang out and have a good time.
And you got the bonfire right over here.
Yeah, we have the big bonfire over there, so that'll be going.
And tell me, I mean, you guys have been doing this for quite some time. It's your 10-year Scare-iversary.
Yeah.
And so, what do your neighbors think about all this?
We always warn them. When we moved in over here about 4 years ago, we warned them. We're like, we hope you like Halloween. And the neighborhood loves it. The 1st of October, we pass out the flyers. I have my Halloween mask on. We're towing the signs. And the kids are coming up, waving, taking pictures. And the neighborhood gets very into it. They get very excited for it.
And you got the fortune teller over here.
And we have our fortune teller over here.
And this is really cool. And you got the other games over here that we got one of your nephews over here, I guess. Warming it up, making sure it's all good.
Making sure everything is
no
good to go.
shenanigans going on here at the carnival scene.
Not at all.
And so, is Halloween your favorite time of the year? You and Susie do
I think it's safe to say yes.
And so tell me, why Halloween?
You get to let your weird out. A lot of people are afraid to be themselves and be weird. And Halloween, you got to just be yourself and be weird if you're weird.
And we don't see much of this anymore. I mean, this harkens back to my childhood, back in the 80s and stuff. And, it seems like we don't have this kind of wholesome community type of event anymore.
That's exactly why we do it, because it's not there. And I want, my nieces, my nephews, my cousin, her children, we want everybody to have that feeling. That was a great experience when we were kids, and, kids are missing out on it these days. So we try to bring that experience to them.
This is really cool. I mean, it's really, thoughtful of you guys to do this free for the community, for the kids and anybody else that likes, loves Halloween and, put in the time and effort. That's just it. You put your own blood and gore into this, right?
Yes. A lot of sweat and tears went into the building of all this.
Gotcha. And so if people want to find out more, I guess they can get a look at social media?
Yeah, we're on Facebook, Nick's Nightmare on Facebook. Just take a look for the logo, and that's us. And we have a flyer posted on there with all the information for our little events going on.
And it's free, 5 o'clock tomorrow?
Absolutely free, from 5 to 10 tomorrow and 5 to 10 on Saturday.
Awesome, Nick. This is really cool that you guys are doing this. And Elise, I mean, this is, I don't know if you experienced this when you were younger, having like a neighborhood, free type.
The best. Yes.
Haunted house to go to.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen anything, things like this in a long time, and it's really, really, really cool that they're doing this. So if you're in Snellville area, look up Nick's Nightmare on Facebook. Come out here and check it out for free.
Love
Start at 5 o'clock tomorrow and 5 o'clock Saturday.
Eli Jordan live for us there in Snellville. A spooky good time will be had. So, Eli, thank you so much. All right, I want to get you back out to this water main break and let you know where this is happening. This is Billy Heath on the drone there giving us a look ahead, or look over it, I guess I should say. This is at 3858 Covington Highway. It's right by that Circle K. You can see that intersection is blocked off, so that will impact traffic. They're asking drivers to work their way around that, try to avoid that area if you can. But they're repairing a 6-inch broken water main there. About 300 customers have been impacted by this. They're saying if you are one of them, if you know someone who is, then they can stop into that Circle K and get some water, and hopefully this is something that they can get repaired very quickly. Looks like they got a big job on their hands there. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have a great Thursday, and we'll see you at noon. Take care.
Right now on Fox 5 News at noon, Georgia Democrats are urging Governor Kemp to use part of the state's nearly $15 billion surplus in order to prevent SNAP benefits from being cut off. And a father is charged after police say he shot his own son to death. We're live in Buckhead with the latest developments. Jonathan?
Drier and brighter days are on the horizon, but first, a deep chill. I'm tracking the numbers next to my Fox 5 Storm forecast.
Fox 5 News at noon starts right now.
We begin this hour with new details about an overnight shooting in Buckhead that left a man dead. Good Thursday afternoon. Thank you so much.